Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
On E8.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense led by number 12, Aaron Rodgers, and the Pack in an unfamiliar position this year. They have not made the playoffs for 2 years running, 6-9-1 a year ago, and now with a new head coach in Matt LaFleur, no guarantee certainly that they'll play meaningful football in January this year. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that carries over to this week as well.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. Quickly now, here's a look.
4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork. Knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
7 yards there and a first down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's what you should do. I've not yet met a running back.
Touchdown, Packers! Jamal Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a...
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I'm just learning how to spell analytics, and I need to get that down because it's going to be a huge part of the NFL game going forward. I think that was the call there, trying to go for 2 after that touchdown.
Yeah, opening drive, not only do you get the 6, but fully seize momentum with the 8, and unfortunately they couldn't do it.
I think they were trying to gain that huge advantage, not just on the scoreboard, but mentally. I just wonder if that backfires a little. They stop you.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Cook able to escape. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got this down to the 35. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Open man is Taylor. He's got it.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 24. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there, getting him the first.
Well, that's a nice job right there. Was looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape. Because you know he's a heck of a player, but he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles is number 27 in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yards.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And that'll set him back 5.
Still 4th down.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Right there. 319.
Hey, I'm coming.
They'll run it with Williams. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now 1st quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. He'll bring it back to just about the the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
That one 28 yards on the ground. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
I don't think you got it.
They'll run it with Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
On 2nd down, Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Here's a run for the Colorado State grad, Capri Bibbs. They find some open field here. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown! Bibbs. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, but it's going to be second down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On third down, Cousins. And that's incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Rodgers now on first down. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. On play action, Rodgers. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And that's when he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A gain there of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A throw over the middle taken in. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Rodgers again now. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A gain of 13. It's a first down. On play action. Now Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's got some space here. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Cousins to throw it. It's complete. Abdullah. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams, his 2nd touchdown on the and 6 to their lead. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. Throwing now is Rodgers. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 44, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, can't. Go, teams. Wait that.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The ex-Iowa Daniels in for the sack.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Trent Taylor there. 3rd down here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end pass rush. They've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the 2nd quarter. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field. Rodgers going to throw. Open man is Allison, complete. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, and he turned into a multiple turnovers.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. That was signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this 1st half of play.
He's checking. Crash.
On play action, it's Rodgers. On the comebacker, complete. That's Adams. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So we're at halftime here at Lamp. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Steps away. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Packers add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Cousins now. Over the middle. That's caught by Taylor. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They go play action here on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Geronimo Allison the target there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
You got him.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Now a play fake here on first down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something?
That's caught at the 25. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Anthony Barr picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a third and goal here. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyler Fackrell, the linebacker.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 44 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They fake the give. Now Rodgers.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They run. It's Williams. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. Ben Gideon in on the stop. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have fourth down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins, throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Preston Smith there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense. Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd down, Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through. Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Back now at Lambeau. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On 2nd and very short, Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take...
Mike, to the 50, green 18.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
To 50.
Rodgers throwing here. He'll buy some time right. And he's got the connection to the tight end Graham. Touchdown Packers. Jimmy Graham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.